studio today.
Super Kick Party, Dayveonne, Bussey.
I don't know who's next, Corey Davis.
Jake Sparks.
And our special guest, we got HB Gibson.
Thank you so much.
You're watching GEEKCASTER, everything sci-fi, fantasy, and geek culture. Hey, there's a lot of different things we're geeky about, and today we're going to talk about a lot of things, and of course, reviews on shows. So the first thing we're going to jump into is a little bit of Nobody, a little DMZ, and of course, we have to talk about Dayveonne's. What do you like there, Dayveonne? What do you like? You like what? Atlanta. Because you don't want to show about New York.
Yeah, I got. What the heck happened there?
Yeah, why your face frozen?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's the bad thing about Wi-Fi. That's probably the reason. But hey, I'm back.
We'll go for it. So all right. So but first, let's go into Nobody. I was checking out some movies, and I'm like, hey, I saw this thing called Nobody. And I was pleasantly surprised. Did everybody get a chance to see that?
Yep. Saw that like 4 times.
4 times? Okay.
4 times.
Okay, so without giving...
Made it to the bus scene.
Made to the bus scene.
Really get past that. Yeah.
Bus scene was tight. That was
tight. Yeah, it was.
So, because the setup is everything in it, so we won't give you the full setup because then it kind of takes away the joy of what's going on. But Bob Odenkirk, I believe that's how you say his name. He was in Breaking Bad. He was also in Gotta Call Saul.
Yeah.
And he's a little action hero. And I like the fact you're seeing more movies showing older guys be action heroes. I thought that's really cool. Especially from a whole martial arts standpoint, where the older you are, you more skill, more wisdom, wise choices in battle, rather than just strength, rather than just the advantages of being youthful. So I thought that was super interesting. The cast was great. The storyline made sense. A man protecting family himself. And a chain of reactions that happened. What happened?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, speaker.
So, but Dayveonne, why did you watch it 3 times? Because that's huge. You don't watch anything
4.
3 times.
It gave me that John Wick mixed with Die Hard feel to it.
Okay.
So in the whole process, it's like a man basically trying to be sheltered in the world. Spoiler.
Okay, no spoilers, because won't people see it?
Okay.
Right.
So pretty much it was like the fight scenes were on point.
Mm-hmm.
The action. RZA did his thing. And as bad as I really don't like giving this person a lot of attention, Christopher Lloyd, awesome in this film.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice surprise, too. RZA was a nice surprise, even though as soon as you hear his voice, you know it's him. So you're like, okay, it's coming. But seeing RZA and also Christopher Lloyd in the same movie, who would have thought you would ever see them in any production together? I mean, just saying those names, like HB had to laugh. Like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
What? What? Huh? So I thought that was great.
Doc Brown and the Woo.
Who would have thought? All right, so let's move on to Atlanta, because I've seen the very first season, maybe like the first 2 episodes, and it was good. It was cool. It was funny. I liked the vibe of it. Nothing really moved me to keep going. Like, I want to see more, but I wasn't like, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm gonna. So, how many of you saw the new season? And would I miss a lot by skipping through?
Nah, it's very interesting. It's like a weird twist in this series, like with episode 3, like especially with the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't see the main characters in the first episode.
Okay.
It was just focused on I think, a flashback of somebody's childhood.
Mhm.
And then you go to episode 2, which it brings you to the original cast. And they're in another country. And I'm just going to keep it like that. And things become interesting.
All right. Corey, HB, are you familiar with the franchise as well as Phoenix? Are you familiar with Atlanta? And what about Atlanta you think keeps people going or gets you guys excited about it?
I've only heard of the title. I never really watched the series, but I think from your conversation, I think I might have to check that out.
Oh, I was about to say Danny Glover. Donald Glover. No relation. He writes these really intricate shows, and the storyline is decent. It's very funny. It's a very quotable show. The soundtrack is amazing. There's not much you can pick apart about the show. It is an enjoyable watch. You just have to see for yourself.
Right.
Yeah. I think make time for it. Yeah, because I mean, what I saw of it, I thought was smart. It was, I would say witty, even more witty than smart. Like, I see what you did right there. There was a lot of, you know. So yeah, so it's Atlanta. So let's move to DMZ. First of all, who saw DMZ?
Wow.
Is that a clean sweep? You saw HB?
Yeah,
Okay, Phoenix,
I
did you see
enjoyed that.
DMZ? Phoenix is in school, by the way.
Okay.
So she
That's
has
a reason. That's a reason to miss some shows. That's a reason.
To
Excellent.
miss some shows. You're muted.
Handy dandy notebooks over here, like lots of cute notes and stuff.
You know what? It's like if there's any censors or anything with our show, because it's also on cable, we always have an out through Phoenix because she's like you guys need to study. You need to focus on school. So we have that portion of the show as like, don't be bad like Dayveonne and just watch shows all day. You know.
I got a college degree, ladies and gentlemen. I graduated from college, so I do have a bachelor. So forget what they're saying.
You earned the right. You earned the right to watch the shows. So
For the low price, $59.99.
I'm gonna kick boys behind.
let's look into this. Let's explore this here. We have Rosario Dawson, Boon Lee, which great, very relaxed. I like his whole style, how he delivers his lines. He has this.
He's very cool, man.
He's just cool. He is very cool. I had some issues with the Skell's character, which was greatly played by Freddie Mayares. I think he did a great job. I think the direction or the writing could have been a little more because his character in theory, had so much depth. I don't know if you guys, there's so much you could do there.
Right.
And I felt he was like kind of limited a little bit. Jordan Preston Carter, great. You know, when you see kids in a production and they knock it out the park and they're believable, you got to look back and be like, you know. Benjamin Bratt, legend.
Yeah, he was so New York, man. Yeah. I mean, you could just hear it in his voice, man. You know.
Where is he from originally? Do you know?
I have no clue where he's from, but all I know is I heard New York accent all in his voice. I was like, damn, it was was it Brooklyn? I mean, he just sounded. He was just so New York, you know, when he stood up. I got a lot of not to give away anything, but that one particular scene, I got a lot of the Warriors.
Oh, for sure.
In that one particular series, I was like, that was Warriors inspired. I love that.
How did you feel about that? Did you embrace it? Or you were like,
Is Corey shaking his head?
I embraced it because it sounded as if like it was obviously, you know, inspired from the Warriors, and I think it was done very respectfully.
Okay. And Corey,
I thought it was done very respectfully.
All right.
Corey
I have a lot to say about this show.
Go for it. Since your woman's on the show, go for it.
First of all, I love Rosario Dawson in anything that she does. I had to say. I love Ava DuVernay and the things that she creates. She finds these really interesting characters. You can see the homages that she wants to, I guess, tribute within her shows that she creates. She finds these great child actors. But for me, I cannot watch past episode 2. I'm completely disinterested from the show. It's just
Wow.
great acting with a very poor storyline. I'm not interested in anyone, not even Rosario Dawson. It's very.
I find that fascinating. You said that. First of all, the creator. I mean, this is a comic book, correct?
Yeah, DC inspired, right? Yes.
So this world was already created. So no one involved had created this world. So that's number one. So that's the bug set. Number 2, which is interesting, I found the first episode was weak to me. It was kind of like rushed and thrown in. And as it went and people were directing it after, I felt they kind of picked up the lost pieces. I thought it got better. As far as direction-wise, it got better.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So I thought that was interesting. I know that's your girl, but I just, yeah.
I felt no tone change, no arc from episode 1 to episode 2. It was just.
Let me find it, because this guy I think was great. Let's see. No, you guys keep talking. I'm trying to find the other. There's another director that stepped in, and I thought that it definitely.
Ernest Dickerson?
Yeah, Ernest Dickerson. Ernest Dickerson definitely picked it up.
All right, I guess for me being in the military and knowing what an actual DMZ is, a demilitarized zone, and them putting drama or dramatic elements and so many different storylines in this one space where there's supposedly no military action that's supposed to go on. It's basically a lawless place.
Right.
I guess when you equate that to real life DMZ zones, this doesn't hit the mark for me. There's
a lot of, but you see, even to Ava DuVernay's credit and Eric Dickinson's credit, this is what they had to work with. I think that could have been not necessarily a director's thing, but maybe more so the writing, because that first episode, they just tried to throw, which that's what you're supposed to do with a pilot, is throw a lot at people and create the world. But there's a lot of loopholes in that world. There are a lot of things that just didn't make sense. Like even, I don't want to say what period because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but the scene where the military went away. Really? After all that, why would you, like, that was just dumb. Like, why would you just, all right, well, we're going to go away now.
That's,
like,
right. Like, okay, we just all of a sudden just stop fighting. I understand where you're going with that, though. Yeah. I understand it.
Yeah. But that's the whole point of DMZ, and that's where Ava DuVernay kind of shines. She takes these lackluster, well, I don't want to say lackluster storylines, and tries to put her spin on it. And for me, it just does not work as a show. And you can see a lot of her inspiration and how she tries to give these characters some type of arc. But it's great actors, great acting. It's just a very poor storyline.
The acting was really good. I to the smallest characters to the large characters, and I would say I don't think you can do something like this and not try. I know you said like there's too many characters, but then in this type of world, it kind of I understand the attempt. Like how do you create a world when you only develop one character? I mean, we've seen how many movies where, okay, but what about that person over there? Well, if I'm supposed to fear him, then you got to build him up so I can fear him. Well, if this is supposed to, so maybe it should have been drawn out longer. I mean, it's sad to say, maybe there should have been more episodes so they could really build each thing. Would that have helped?
Right. Yeah.
I think it should have been done by a different director. And I love Ava DuVernay. I say this with the most respect for her and what she creates, but I feel like someone else could have taken this in a completely different direction. Because when you want to talk about DMZs, like maybe a John Singleton could have done something, more right.
Yeah.
Like something more gritty and more fact based instead of a completely dramatic. This will never happen in a DMZ.
You know what? Now you think about it again. It's that fine line between. See, I think if Ava was to write it, did she write the first episode or no?
I think she did. I can double check for you while we're talking about it.
Because I feel that they try. It could easily been an action suspense situation, and they tried to bring in the drama. And I get it, but I don't think they accomplished, like, well, I don't care. I get it. You lost your son, and that was emotional, but there were some moments where I didn't care. Like I see the motivation of the character, and I wanted to see it through, but stop trying to pull the strings because it's not working.
So she directed the first episode, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can see her touches in the whole pilot episode, but it was written by Roberto Patino,
who is actually the comic book creator.
And I don't know, got lost in translation for those two, but I just feel like if they would have had a grittier director, it probably could have saved it.
We need to do an episode and invite some of these writers and directors, because I'm curious to see how much was written and they just said, okay, lights, camera, act. Because sometimes I think we give the writer too much credit, and sometimes I think we give the directors too much credit. Because a lot of times, this is what's written, this is what's greenlit, and they just have to try to make that come to life. Like, sometimes they don't have those decision-making things, unless they're writing and directing it. Sorry, go ahead, David.
Let me correct myself. It was Ricardo Birch is the creator of the characters that wrote the DC comic book, and Robert Patton is Patino is the creator for the show.
He also created and wrote for Westworld and Sons of Anarchy, so you can see like the parallels of those worlds blending in.
That makes a lot of sense. He was not the writer of this project. Because the Westworld had a lot of moments. It also depends on what season too, because it was, the first season was like knocked it out the park, and then when you go near the end, it's like, okay, you guys, something, yeah. So
they kind of overstayed their welcome with that, with the latter seasons. Yeah. A little bit.
So HB, you're doing an online series.
Yes.
What's the name of it?
The name of the series is called Combat in the Grid. It is a fan series where we cross Mortal Kombat with Mighty Morphin Power. Now, not necessarily Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We deal with there's different kind of Power Rangers that all cross through like a multiverse sort of a thing. And it answers the question, what would happen if the Mortal Kombat ninjas got access to the Morphin Grid? We're in 2 episodes. The third episode will be released on YouTube in Combat in the Grid, Combat with a K. It'll be on it'll be episode 3, so it's gonna be on the 9th, this coming Saturday. So look out for it.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. Yo, Phoenix, we're gonna ask you a question because you're like the brain of the group.
I don't know about all that.
Are you going to classes, or is everything virtual?
It's all my classes are virtual. I know they're doing some in person, but yeah.
So, because I wonder, because with this whole virtual thing, like, do you still get the college vibe of like people talking about shows and fashion and life and this? Like, do you still get that, or is it just kind of, just here's information, spitting it out and going away and you get a degree?
It's definitely different. So before I was going to classes, I was getting to socialize and meet my peers and talk face to face with my professors. And for the occasional in-person class, I still get to do that. But this semester I've been all online, so it's all on Zoom and whatnot. So it's different. Like more of the students socialize through online groups like Discord. So yeah, it's not the same.
That sucks. I look at it now and I'm like, man, I'm glad I finished that before this happened. Cause oh man, I have so many memories that I could like look back at, and I'm like,
Don't get me started.
And that's
Not get me started.
It's the future. I think more schools are definitely always. Well, they're losing a lot of money, but they all have this emergency button just in case this happens again now. So they're all putting that in place. But it begs the questions like, should you even go to college? Is it even worth it? Like, you know, I mean, people should have asked that question before, but now it's like,
I mean, this was foretold in the Jetsons, pretty much. I mean, you know,
right?
now be able to have classes from home. I mean, I think, listen, I think that should definitely be an option. You know, if you don't want to be in a classroom, you know, that you be, you know, virtual. I think it's cool.
I think it depends on the student. Some people thrive doing everything from their room, and some people thrive being out and about in the world. I tried I cannot do it because I relax at home. I don't get into like study mind frame at home, so I have to go to school.
Or y'all could be like Shelton and basically create a robot just with a computer screen that follows people.
No, but I get that. I mean, if you know, there are people that thrive on being around other people, and that I believe that's what human beings have been created to do, is to be able to interact and work together and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that maybe for reasons that maybe I wouldn't be able to explain, they wouldn't have a problem learning from home. Children, they might have children, they might have, it might be a distance, or maybe that person just feels as if they would do better not being around a bunch of people.
For me, it's the option to work remotely. I mean, I save so much time. I don't have to commute, sit an hour in traffic, and not only that, I mean, I can do my classes from anywhere if I want to travel for work or whatever. Just change my. So that's nice. I can set up an outdoor classroom for myself any day of the week if it's warm enough.
As long as you got Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I dig it and I get it. I think the thing is part of, and I guess the world is changing, but the part of because I know a bunch of people that have gotten degrees during the pandemic. I get it, but it's also like part of that degree is like, oh man, no matter what the season was, no matter what the weather, you showed up to class. No matter, it's like,
right.
It's all the obstacles of going to class and achieving and dealing with the personalities and having the groups that you have to work with, and you have to meet up, and you have to make. It's all those things that make that this degree. But it's not the same when it's so it's interesting. It's going to see like how older generations are going to look at it, and then like my niece, she's like a preteen now, so it's like what is she gonna look at stuff in the future? Like, oh my goodness, you went to class, you're whack, you have to be cool, and I think it might flip. It's like, oh, you actually went to class? Like, no, that's not how you do it. You're not efficient. So I think it's gonna flip. But I do think that I think there's going to be a major shift with education where people are going to look at like the output, and just because there's so many jobs that are so you don't need an education. Like, or should I say, a traditional going to school education. Like I think trade schools are going to blow up. I think those are going to be like I think there's always been, you go to trade school. I think trade schools are going to get more prestigious, and I think it's going to flip a little bit. What do you guys think the future of education?
I personally think with the evolving technology that we have with virtual reality and haptic feedback, I think online and physical classes are going to merge. So you're going to be in a classroom, or you can see a classroom from the safety of your own house. As far as trade schools, I think trades are going to go away. A lot of things are becoming automated. Cars, now making food. Do you really need a doctor when Apple Watch can diagnose you faster than a human? A lot of things are going to be automated, and everything's just going to change.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is a pro technology person. He's pro everything.
Wow. What do you think, Phoenix?
I definitely hypothesize, not to be all nerdy. There's going to be a lot more VR, AR learning, right? Because as humans, I think we learn better when we are immersed in an environment, and that is one of the most efficient ways to like immerse someone artificially. So I could see the way we learn changing, and I could also see the way we structure our education system changing a lot too. For example, education systems in Japan and Germany, they have everyone goes to school up till like 8th grade, and then everyone takes a big test, and that's when it's decided, okay, which kids are going to go to trade school, which kids are going to go on to like higher learn in the classroom. Because I always thought it was kind of ridiculous that we put everyone through the K through 12 when some kids already have lawn and maintenance businesses at the beginning of high school, and it's just it's just a waste of time for them, or some people would rather do something else.
Right. No, that's an interesting and powerful point. That is.
But I will agree with both of them. I do think that technology, like when it comes to learning how to do CAD or virtual reality, or having a system create what you want, like the piece for a car or a piece that you need for a house, it will evolve. I'll say for myself, I went to high school, and it was an engineering high school. As quiet as it's kept, I ain't tell a lot of people this. I basically took engineering course in high school, and straight A student in that aspect. I just didn't want to tell nobody.
I think in the end, we're going to wind up singing that old Rick Springfield song. We all need the human touch. I need the human touch.
And on that note, everybody give everybody your social media. We'll end it right there.
Dayveonne Bussey on Instagram and Facebook, and Shamal Williams on Twitch, and Shamal Williams on Twitter.
Super quick and easy. I'm Corey Davis. You can find me at IamGT3 on all things.
I'm Phoenix Sparks. You can find me on Instagram at PhoenixSparks_official.
And I'm HB Gibson. You can find me at Mr. HB Gibson on Instagram and HB Gibson on YouTube. I have a new gaming channel where I game and game some more. HB Gibson on YouTube.
And Michael on IG. And from there, you can click around and find all of the things, as Corey would say. That's a Corey quote going into 2022 and beyond. And everything GEEKCASTER, GEEKCASTER.com. Thank you for watching us on cable. Thank you for checking us out on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and promote. And that's it. We're outie.
Yeah.
All right.